Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've got a Ford tractor feature at Albany Pioneer Days, Albany, Minnesota 2022. Let's just walk the line a little bit for all the Ford fans on the channel. This one looks familiar. We've got, it says it's a 49 Ford 8N. The one we got at home is a 48. Still the front mount distributor, just like this one is. Pretty much the same tractor. That's what it looked like in 2011 before they restored it. This one says 52 8N, so this would be the side mount distributor, just a little bit later. Otherwise, pretty much the same tractor. They have the nice red Ford emblems on the front. This one even has the Ford script fenders in it. Those are getting a bit hard to find. Ford highlights on the hood, pretty nice. And this one, it's a Golden Jubilee, so that'd be a 53. Yep, 53. So that's just a bit newer still. A little bit beefier in the drivetrain. They also went to the overhead valve style engine in this one, so started getting a few upgrades. Added the tachometer up there along with all the usual gauges. This is kind of a neat one. This is a Ford 501 Workmaster, but it's the offset. And you don't realize it until you come and look down the center line. Look at how the differential is off to the side. It pretty much goes straight into a stub final drive, and then you have the usual longer axle tube on the other side. Drawbar pivots to the center. 3-point lift assembly is entirely set off to the side to position that center line. Operator station is to the right of the transmission and back end, and well as the engine, wide front. I have to believe, like, Cultivation Vision was big with this one, but agricultural Ford emblem on the front. Just a neat looking setup. We've got a Ford 871 Selecto Speed. Again, that same Ford agricultural emblem. Nice looking grille on the front of this one. Good rubber all around. Nice decals. There's your Selecto Speed deal right up there. Started getting away from the straight geared shifters. Trying to innovate a little bit. Again, we have Ford script fenders on this one. Looking good. Here we've got another 8N. I believe this one says 47. So yep, that's front mount distributor. Ford 5000, 1968. We got FOMO Co. in the front weights. This one, it's a 1980 5600 front wheel assist. It's a 1990 Ford. It's a bi-directional, so you could, let's see here. Okay, so the operator's seat and the steering pedestal would flip around either direction, so you could, this could be the front or that could be the front. We're kind of flipped around backwards so that this is the front now, but kind of an interesting setup. We've got a Ford, what's it say? It's a 39 ton and a half. Truck fixed up pretty nice. Nice on the interior as well. Ford F6. That one says this is a 52 F6. This is a 1981 340. Loader on the front, back plate on the rear. We have another, this would be a 49 8N right here. I think we've got, yep, we've got a 2-bottom back here. Is that a Ford or a Dearborn plow? That is a Dearborn plow. Neat part of it is it's got the scrapers on the coulters. Here we've got a Fordson Dexta, and it's interesting because look, they even have Fordson embroidered in their seat. This is a bit newer. Let's see. Kind of a same spin on the old Ford agricultural emblem, but we have a blue and orange paint scheme 57 Dexta. And this is a 3-cylinder diesel. See the small, it's got a Sims pump on it. I don't know if these were the Perkins diesels or not, but apparently they all had IH oil pressure gauges. Just joking there. Nice gauges in there. We have a red light and a green light. It's like a hour meter, tachometer, possibly speedometer built into that as well. Nice rubber on it. Nice orange on there too. 3-point on the back, pretty standard. Got another N series. Looking at it, it's got to be an 8N. We got the 4-speed transmission. Yep, front mount distributor. That is, they don't have a year. I'd say 47, 48. It's got the correct skinny tires up front. We've got another N series here, 40. That says 43 8N. I don't think they made 8Ns back in 43. It is the 8N though. It's got the 4-speed. 62 Ford 2000. Here's a Ford 971 in the gold paint scheme, the selective speed. There's your lever right there for varying speeds. Overhead valve engine. These were a little bit taller. They weren't quite so low. Gasoline 4-cylinder. Nice seat cushion on there. Looks like we have that's a Ford. It's like a shank cultivator on behind, 3-point. Fixed up pretty nice. This one it's like a Ford, it's a Dearborn corn planter. This is 740. They don't have a year on there. Tricycle front, again a little bit taller. Ford 661 Workmaster, and this has a Ford 1-row 3-point mounted corn picker. So it's a 61, and as far as mounted corn pickers go, I have to admit I don't hate this one. Usually you see mounted corn pickers that are non 3-point and they just surround so much of the tractor. Most of this is wide open yet. Granted, it looks like it'd be a little heavy out on this side, but easy hookup, easy back off, and still full accessibility to the whole deal. Yeah, there's your Ford tag right there. And really, it doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape. Wooden guide puck for a chain tensioner down there. Pretty heavy frame, and we have some heavy anti-sway bracing. Goes to a bracket on each axle tube, so that would keep the rigid mount feature to it. Still has some of the old Ford logo intact. Here's a very nicely restored 8N. It says the 1950. Yep, it's got side mount distributor. Even these suck up the John Deere's. It's just really becoming a problem. This has the tachometer hour meter into it on the dash. Here we've got a V8 conversion on this one. 47 with a flathead 60 V8. I'm willing to bet that's not the tractor grill either. That looks more like the automotive grill. Aluminum heads on there. They are Ford. Aluminum intake up on the top. And here we've got another Fordson Power Major. This is the 4-cylinder version. Sims pump again on this one. Again, they have the embroidered Fordson seat cushion. This one's got some, it's like double wheel weights. This must be a PTO engagement on the back. Info G, I don't know, can't tell what that is. It's got something to do with, it's like a play on the Ford logo somehow. Next to that, Ford 801 Power Master, fixed up pretty nicely. 59 Power Master diesel, front bumper on it. It's even got a curve to it. Ford 2000, another gold 971 Selecto Speed on the other side of that. 59. 1320, smaller size tractor. This is a front mount 8N, 47. We've got another Golden Jubilee. It'd be the 53. Again with those nice Ford script fenders. Here's a 740, 1957. We've got, here's another front mount, should be an 8N, yep, 49. Here we've got a 640, 1957. Fixed up rather nice. You can't have a Ford tractor show without the old bug tractors. These were the old Model T conversion kits where you'd turn an old car into a tractor, and pretty much just, well, beefs up the back end. We take the wheels off the axle, we put some cogs on there with some steel wheels, inside toothed gearing, which these actually have a lot of wear. They put some miles on this one, and boom, you've got a tractor. Sometimes they put double transmissions in them to get them geared down a little more. I only see the single standard Model T transmission on this one yet. Actually, a few more down here as well. Got some decent old Ford pickups. I had a Ford Ranger like that one time, a 92. Mine was a lot rustier though. What we got down here before we get to the rest of the bugs? 41 9N. One of the first 9Ns I've seen. They're mostly 8Ns out here today. Still in its working clothes. I can respect that. We have, this says 52 8N. Yep, could be. It's got side mount distributor. It's happening again. But here we have, okay, this is an interesting, they used to use this one to deliver mail. This has been around here for a while. They've actually got a track kit on this thing. Got to imagine that would go through anything. I don't think it'd be very warm in here, especially considering you can see the ground, but no Ford gauges intact yet. That is cool. Anyway, more of the old bug tractors. This one's kind of neat. It actually has a big cast iron back wheel and an actual gear rather than just those round cogs. This, good cleats on it. This might have been a fancier kit at one time. I like it because we still have the old wooden spring suspension seat, and you could say it's a cup holder. I'm betting it's for an oil can though. And looks like it still just has a single transmission in it. Turn your old car or truck into a tractor. Similar setup right here, similar heavy cast rear wheel. This one actually has a spring with a cast iron seat on it. Nice wide wooden floor planking in it. They even replaced the old wood spoke front wheels with cast iron wheels on this one. They retain the old Ford hubcaps. That's kind of neat. See, that's the old original wood spoke wheel there with the rubber. They actually converted this one to all steel with the kit. That is cool. We got one more here. I don't know if this is a this could be a factory deal. Yep, we just have the low-tech round cog washers in there running on. Wow, look at the wear on these gear teeth. Those have just about been worn away. This one actually put in a lot of miles, I would say, in the field in tractor form. Part of the old Ford running board right there. Okay, here we have the double transmission. Here's the original transmission. We put another one in here. Gives you additional gearing for some good low range working power. I'm not sure how much traction these would have because they're not very heavy, but interesting concept anyway. Just about finished with the line. Here we've got the old Fordson. Is this the TO30? It's got 30 on the side badge. Is that a screen mesh for the intake? I think it is. A lot of these Fergusons were built pretty much like an N-Series Ford, but had their own spin on a few things. Next to that, Ford with the Ferguson system. I don't see any kind of, here we are, 1940 9N. You can always tell the 2Ns and 9Ns, they're only a 3-speed forward transmission. Here we've got a V8, another flathead V8 conversion kit. That's in a Golden Jubilee. They converted up a Golden Jubilee, a 53. And a water pump on each side of the block. It's the old Ford flathead, for sure. And next to that, another flathead conversion. I think that's on another Golden Jubilee, another 53. You got a pair of them here. That ought to wake them up. Here's one for you. It's a Ford 800. Shows that it's a 56. But the interesting part with this one, it has a 3-point mounted cement mixer on it. And it looks like it did some work. Kept the drum clean where the roller rides. We've got, there's a tire mounted back here, and I gotta believe that's for a friction drive. Yep, we have a drive drum comes off the PTO back there. Looks like we have a roller chain down to a sprocket, down to A round steel wheel rolls against the tire. Tire is attached to the cement mixer drum, tumbles the drum. That is the first one of those I've ever seen. And to wrap it up, we've got some of the newer series tractors, but still very nice condition. Ford 8000, 8600. That's a 73. Authentic Ford suitcase weights on the front. Another Ford 8000, 71. More suitcase weights, 8700. That's a 78. For me, that's still a rather new tractor, but I'm still farming with 40s and 50s stuff myself. So, all right, everybody, that pretty much concludes the majority of the Ford tractors that showed up for the Albany, Minnesota Ford feature. A few old cars and trucks too, but we've pretty much hit all the high points. Lots of nice tractors this year. Thank you all for watching. For you Ford fans, I think that should have scratched the itch, so we'll continue on. I'll find some more interesting things to look at.